The grand ballroom sparkled beneath crystal chandeliers. Hundreds of guests in elegant gowns and tailored tuxedos laughed over expensive champagne while a live orchestra played softly in the background. It was the city's biggest charity gala, attended by celebrities, business leaders, and politicians. Near the kitchen entrance stood a quiet young woman named Emily. Dressed in a simple black uniform borrowed from the catering company, she carefully carried a tray of clean glasses. Her face was beautiful but humble, and she avoided drawing attention to herself. Nobody there knew that Emily wasn't actually a catering employee. She had volunteered at the last minute after several workers called in sick. She believed every charity event deserved enough helping hands. Unfortunately, not everyone shared her kindness. "Hey, you," snapped Vanessa, the event coordinator. "You're moving too slowly. Get into the kitchen and start washing dishes." Emily smiled politely. Of course. She didn't argue. She simply rolled up her sleeves and began washing endless stacks of plates while laughter and music echoed from the ballroom. The kitchen staff whispered among themselves. "Poor girl. She looks exhausted. I heard the coordinator has been picking on her all evening." Emily ignored every insult. Her late grandmother had always told her, kindness is strongest when nobody is watching. Little did they know, someone was watching. Across town, billionaire entrepreneur Daniel Carter was finishing an urgent meeting that had delayed his arrival. Daniel wasn't just another wealthy guest. He was the owner of Carter Holdings, the company sponsoring the charity gala. In fact, he secretly owned the luxury hotel hosting the event. Only a handful of executives knew. Most employees had never even seen his face. Daniel checked his phone. A message from Emily. "Don't rush. Everything's okay. Good luck with your meeting. Heart." He smiled. Emily had never cared about his fortune. When they met 3 years earlier, she thought he was simply an architect. Daniel had hidden his wealth because he wanted someone to love him, not his money. Emily never stopped loving the man behind the success. Back at the gala, Vanessa marched into the kitchen. "Those dishes still aren't finished." "I'm almost done," Emily answered gently. Vanessa rolled her eyes. "Almost isn't good enough." She deliberately pushed another cart filled with dirty plates toward Emily. "Wash these too." One waiter quietly protested. "Ma'am, she's been working for hours without a break." Vanessa glared. "If you don't like it, you can wash them yourself." Everyone fell silent. Emily simply thanked the waiter for his concern and continued working. Her calmness somehow irritated Vanessa even more. An hour later, the master of ceremonies stepped onto the stage. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to welcome tonight's principal sponsor." The ballroom erupted in applause. Mr. Daniel Carter. The massive doors opened. Daniel entered wearing a perfectly tailored navy tuxedo. Conversations immediately stopped. People recognized him from business magazines and television interviews. Vanessa hurried forward with a dazzling smile. "Mr. Carter, what an honor. We've prepared everything perfectly." Daniel shook her hand politely. "Wonderful." His eyes slowly scanned the room. Then, his smile disappeared. "Where is my wife?" Vanessa blinked. "Your wife?" Daniel nodded. "Emily." Silence spread through the ballroom. Several employees exchanged confused looks. Vanessa forced an awkward laugh. "I'm sorry, sir. I don't know anyone named Emily among our VIP guests." Daniel frowned. "She arrived hours ago." One nervous waiter quietly stepped forward. I think she's still in the kitchen." Daniel immediately walked away. Guests curiously followed. Inside the kitchen, Emily was standing over a sink, her hands covered with soap as she washed another stack of dishes. Daniel stopped in the doorway. For several heartbreaking seconds, he simply stared. His elegant wife, working alone, while everyone else celebrated. He softly called, "Emily." She turned around. Her tired face instantly brightened. "You made it." Without caring who was watching, Daniel walked over and gently took her wet hands into his own. "You've been washing dishes." Emily smiled. They needed help. Before she could say another word, Daniel wrapped her in a warm embrace. The entire kitchen stood frozen. Vanessa finally caught up. Still confused, she laughed nervously. "Oh, she knows Mr. Carter." Daniel slowly turned toward her. "She doesn't just know me." His voice became calm but firm. "She is my wife." The room fell completely silent. Vanessa's face turned pale. Wife. Daniel nodded. The woman you've been ordering around all evening. Nobody moved. Nobody even breathed. Vanessa suddenly remembered every rude comment she'd made. Every unfair order. Every insult. Daniel looked at the kitchen staff. Did my wife volunteer tonight? One cook answered honestly. Yes, sir. Did she complain? No. Did anyone force her to keep working? Several employees quietly glanced toward Vanessa. That was answer enough. Daniel faced the event coordinator. I've spent years building companies. He paused. But no business succeeds without respect. Vanessa's eyes filled with tears. I'm so sorry. Daniel interrupted gently. Apologies matter most when they're given before someone gains power. Emily softly touched his arm. Daniel. He looked at her. She whispered. People make mistakes. Everyone expected Daniel to fire Vanessa immediately. Instead, he asked only one question. Can you sincerely apologize? Vanessa turned toward Emily. For the first time that evening, her pride disappeared. I'm truly sorry. I judged you because of your uniform. I treated you unfairly. Emily smiled warmly. I forgive you. Several employees quietly wiped away tears. Daniel addressed everyone gathered. My wife could have revealed who she was hours ago. He looked proudly at Emily. But she chose humility. He continued. Tonight, she reminded us that character isn't measured by wealth, titles, or expensive clothes. The ballroom remained completely silent. True greatness, Daniel said, is revealed by how we treat people who appear to have nothing to offer us. The guests responded with thunderous applause. A few minutes later, Emily changed into an elegant silver evening gown Daniel had arranged to be delivered from their home. When she entered the ballroom beside her husband, many guests barely recognized her. The same woman who had been standing over a sink now looked like royalty, but nothing about her smile had changed. She greeted every server. She thanked every dishwasher. She hugged the elderly cook who had secretly saved her a piece of bread during her shift. Because kindness never depends on circumstances. Before the evening ended, Daniel made one final announcement. In honor of my wife's example, Carter Holdings will establish a new employee appreciation program across all our hotels. Every kitchen worker, cleaner, waiter, and housekeeper would receive better wages, expanded benefits, and monthly recognition awards for outstanding service. The room erupted into another standing ovation. Many staff members cried openly. Emily wasn't proud because her husband was wealthy. She was proud because he used his success to lift others. As they left the gala hand in hand, Daniel quietly asked, if you had told them who you were, none of this would have happened. Emily smiled at him. Maybe, but then we never would have discovered who they truly were. Daniel kissed her forehead. And that's exactly why I fell in love with you. The glittering lights of the gala faded behind them, but the lesson remained in every heart that witnessed it. Never judge a person by the clothes they wear or the work they do. The hands washing dishes today may belong to someone richer in character, and perhaps even richer in fortune, than anyone in the room. Kindness costs nothing, but it can change everything.